Whew, wowee. Hi everyone, Katsura here speaking, internet's busiest anime nerd. Coming at you with a pretty quick, hopefully a quick speed run of an anime that I just want to get over with and talk about, and possibly drop for the rest of this season of Winter 2025. And that is to talk about I'm getting married to a girl I hate in my class. Nope, not me. The anime itself. So yeah, why am I talking about this? Because this show is in my eyes really painfully mid. And before we talk about the show in length, I guess we gotta go into who spearheaded the show, who created the show, right? So this is a collaboration effort by Gokumi and AXsiZ. And if you don't know those two studios, if they don't ring a bell by now, this is actually like their fourth, if I'm not mistaken, the fourth time these two studios decide to work together and actually make a anime series that people want to talk about. So if you haven't heard these two studios, let me give a little refresher. These two studios in particular are known for giving us some of the most interesting but infamous animes to come out within the past 5 years. The most infamous one being Shumatsu no Harem or World Ends Harem, which is for me to this day one of the best fun bad animes I've seen of 2022. There's also another show that I remember it was despised at the time, but I definitely didn't bother watching. But there's The Dreaming Boy is a Realist that came out back in 2023, which had a pretty cool concept. But when I watched the initial two episodes, I wasn't crazy about it. It didn't really pull me in to watch it more. And of course, there was this awful dog shit show that came out not that long ago, that same year, with Reborn's a Vending Machine and Now Wonder the Dungeon, which, surprisingly enough, has been greenlit for a second freaking season. Yeah, we have a second season of this vending machine isekai that's going to be coming up really soon. And what's kind of interesting is that these two studios, going back to the studios, they've been working together for some time now, blessing us with some of the best fun, bad, trashy anime that has come out that I have seen within the past 5 years since I started taking reviewing anime seriously. And as of now, we go into their most recent works, which is um, the I'm Getting Married to a Girl I Hate in My Class. Which, to put it in a nutshell, this show is like your typical rom com, slice of life comedy anime, but it's really devoid and bland. It just keeps on repeating the same freaking shenanigans over and over again. It's the humor of the show is like really over the top, really stupid, really dumbed down. While yes, I will agree, the animation for the show is definitely way better than a lot of the other shows that they came out with in the past. I do think that the show utterly and awfully lacks in substance, in originality, in making me laugh because again initially I've watched the first couple of episodes of the show, I was definitely hooked on it. I actually liked it. It had a really cool premise and I was actually hooked. I actually wanted to watch more of the show. But as we got into like episode 4 5 up until the latest episode, I became so frigid bored. I was bored out of my freaking mind. Where the main character of the show, Saito and Akane, every time those two get into it with each other, it's like we're repeating the same formula from the earlier episodes. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no switch up, there's no flavor of it, there's no nothing. And I was, I really tried, man. I really was like, can I really watch the last 5 episodes of the show after I dropped this review? And I said to myself, no, I don't think I can. I'm sorry. This show is just painfully getting more and more boring as I continue watching the show, as I'm progressing through the show. Now, there are moments in the plan where, in Flash in the Pan, where the characters itself have some really deep, really heartfelt moments where it's like, oh, hey, they're actually bonding together. They're actually starting to understand each other. They're actually getting to know a lot about their past backstories to why Akane hated our main character Saito. and why Shise is super brother sister obsessed with Saito, and why Himari, the best friend of Akane, is the way she is. And there are moments where it actually has like a genuine sense, like okay, it's actually going in a really good, serious direction, but it gets overshadowed so freaking hard when the humor is so goddamn over top. The humor of the show, I literally cannot stand this. The humor of the show reminds me of Kanjo Mo Kanjo or Girlfriend Girlfriend. If anyone remembers this show, this was one of my least favorite shows of 2021, and I hated this show. I absolutely despise the show to this day. I understand there are some girlfriend defenders that are defending the show to this day. Some even saying that hey, season two was way better, but no, the humor of the show is like girlfriend, but if it was super fucking boring. Because at least with this show, it is trying to be zany, out there, and really weird at times. But in the case of this show right here, I'm not getting that at all. Like it started off with that type of humor, and I was like, okay, I'll let it slide for a little bit, and then it just became bland throughout the whole fucking way as I was watching this show. So yeah, again, to kind of put in a nutshell what the show's about, really, it's about a guy and a girl who basically hate each other in class, but then due to some weird circumstances, they decided that okay, we gotta get married because our grandma and grandpa are forcing each other to get married, because if not, I'm gonna lose my fucking savings, and I'm gonna lose the one thing I was dreaming of, or some fucking bullshit. And again, really typical concept for a slice of life comedy anime, I suppose, but it is so goddamn boring as we're literally going to the halfway point of the show. And again, I really don't know if I can sit through the last 5 episodes because the humor of the show is painfully mid. The voice acting of the show is it's fine, it's okay, but I just don't fucking get how I can stand hearing them with the same comedy slapstick over and over again. It is so freaking annoying and giving me a headache now. And again, the only thing I can compliment the show once again is the animation is actually really nice. It's really clean. The music of the show is actually pretty good. I thought the soundtrack of the show is really nice. But outside of that, I cannot see myself continuing to watch the show any further. So yeah, kind of a shame because this show really had me with my eyes open as like, okay, this has the potential to be like a really fun bad anime, and this turned out to be one of the most mid boring shows I've seen to kick off of the winter 2025 season. So again, it's definitely not awful, but I think in general this show is forgettable. It is a forgettable slice of life comedy show, and if this somehow gets a second season, I mean, kudos to you, I guess. But this is not for me. I'm not interested anymore. I am officially dropping it. And if I were to rate from just these 7 episodes alone, as of right now, I would honestly give this like a light to decent three. It's that's what I would put it at right now. So, yeah, I just figured I'd talk about this because normally I would post this at the end of the weekend, but I could not hold my thoughts on this show any longer. So yeah, that's about it. I'll see you in the next one. Later.